too. Just doing a few bike checks, and you can see full suspension trouble right there. That's the tide mark. I think that was last night. Yeah, when I hit part of the road which wasn't there, and it almost threw me off the bike. It was pretty incredible. Other than that, just looking in here at those bearings, don't think there's anything to worry about there. We crossed some flooded road yesterday, and at some point I hit it pretty hard. It's all still intact. Just dirty. Okay, just settling up now. Stayed at this spa hotel. It was pricey because of the room availability. Anywho, had a very good sleep. Right, off to Cobar today via Bourke, the back of Bourke, which ought to be interesting. I've never been this way before, so it's good to cover new territory. Speaking of which, yesterday was I'm just reflecting on yesterday. It was more of a mental challenge than a physical one, but that's not to understate the physicality of being on the bike for 11 hours. But you know, I had these let's call them obstacles, to overcome, and I don't know where I'm going, which is really good. Back the way I came, I think. Yeah, so watching yesterday's video, the really key thing was the floodwaters and the lack of adequate navigation, even lack of adequate information, because you know, some of you might be thinking, well, why didn't you check the road conditions before you left? Well, turns out I did. And the irony is that the route that I ultimately took was the one that was closed when I checked in the morning. And I had a decision to make, which was, do I wait another day or get going? And the route which I had chosen to take was was obviously open at the time. But when I checked the website at around midday, there was 219 new road closures as the Condamine River came up. So it wasn't happening, and you don't know this as you're riding along. There's no alerts. The second part of the challenge was, I suppose, me breaking my cardinal rule of not riding at dusk or at night because of the wildlife. I had little choice really, although I could have stopped, but you know, what goes through your mind is that you're screwing up your scheduling so badly that it's going to take an extra day. So yeah, I pressed on, and the trouble with this road, or the road I travelled on at dusk, is you literally cannot see with the sun in your eyes the road conditions adequately, and there were some doozy bumps. And I was checking my luggage this morning. The little tail pack I got, it's got nothing in it. Literally, it's got 2 pillows and a rolled up inflatable mattress, and the little, you know, 600-gram tent, and it was almost off the back again, despite all the modifications that I made to it. So that was yeah, that was evidence, or some evidence, that it was really rough. The other was I showed on the video of the full suspension travel on the front. There were two hits like that unseated me, and had the backpack almost doing a somersault forward. It scares the bejesus out of you at the time, I have to say, or out of me, when it's completely unexpected. Yeah, it rattles your cage, that's for sure. But despite all that, had an awesome sleep. Woke up at 7:30 local time. It's 9 o'clock local time now, but there's the sun position. It's 8 o'clock Queensland time, so I've had to put the clocks forward an hour because of daylight savings time in New South Wales. But that's all I'm going to talk about this morning. I'm looking forward to the trip. Should be good. And signing off. Okay, almost at Narrabri. It's been quite a pleasant morning's ride. I was enthralled by these sunflowers growing on the side of the road. Take a look also at the headwind. So we've got a strong southerly, and it's had me keeping the speed right down at about 90 k's an hour. But yeah, quite a pretty location. Lots of farmland. You can see the Great Divide over there, and that big storm that's going down the coast is pushing all this cloud up from the south. Just waiting here at Roadworks. I might sign off for now. Right, just a really quick set wrap. So here at Narrabri, just stopped to fuel up and grab a drink. At the same time, I hadn't done a fuel strategy for today, so just wanted to stop and use my fuel app and work that out. So it's about 183 to Walgett from here, which is a comfortable distance. So I'll fuel up at Walgett, and then that leaves 230 to Burke. So then I'll fill up at Burke and then go through to Cobar. So that's the idea. Anyway, should be okay. The weather's really nice and warm. That wind is going to be less painful because I'm heading almost due west now. So it should be good. But yeah, it was a slow trip here. It's not often I have to knock it back to 90 and maybe even 85 at one point. But everyone followed a convoy of grey nomads, and we'll be going faster than them. So yeah, it's that sort of a day to day. Yeah, my wife just texted me to remind me that it's my last day in the workforce today, March the 31st. Going on to bigger and better things. Maybe a lot of that will be my projects and retirement, but we'll see. I'm going to take a nice long break to work things out from here. Let's call it retirement because that sets expectations. So yeah, I'll get this drink in me and shut this thing down and get going. Alright, it's a little bit after lunchtime and I've pulled up here at Walgett. And this is the infamous place where soon after I left I smashed my phone to pieces, and then soon after that lost the key to my bike. So fond memories all in all. Just on the side of the road here, found a little bit of shade under the tree. There's no picnic areas or such to speak of, but got a couple of cheese kranskis, which yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm into cheese kranskis anymore. I'll scoff them down and see what happens. Highlights of that leg. Yeah, Walgett Shire Council probably needs to do more for their roads. feel like I'm complaining a bit about roads, but the leg between Narrabri and Narrabri and Weewar was absolutely ideal. It was fantastic. Not perfect, not that I'm expecting perfection, but I didn't have my tailbone driven through the back of my skull, so to speak. So yeah, it was at a glorious tailwind, and I could actually relax on the bike, and it was really good. And overall, the riding conditions have been really good today. Been able to get really good fuel economy. I was looking at 400 kilometre range for a couple of these legs with a bit of a tailwind, and I've only really now got another 4 hours to go, so looking forward to getting on with that. I'm just going to eat my food and crack on. Quick cheese Kransky update. I'm really sorry I said that about the cheese Kransky. It was very enjoyable. One of the only foods that can live in the Bain Marie for 12, 18, 24 hours and actually taste healthier than when they went in. So I do appreciate a good quality cheese Kransky, and I promise I won't say that again. Well, I've arrived at Brewarrina, which is the interim stop before Bourke. Bourke's about 105 kilometres from here, a bit over an hour. Sort of stretch my legs, use the bathroom. It's very nicely, that's the Barwon River down there. It's got lots of water in it. But really nice facilities here. Surprisingly green for how far out west it is. I think they've had lots of rainfall. It's good to stop and get a break. So I'll fuel up at Bourke, and then there's a fairly short ride to Cobar from there, about 160 kilometres. Come across lots of dragonflies. They are smacking the crap out of me in the legs and chest and arms. Had a few on the visor as well. This visor was clean only 150 k's ago, so I'll put some more lens wipe on that before I head off. This tail pack had started coming off again from the rough roads prior to this stretch, which were incidentally really quite good, and so I had to do some more engineering underneath it. Worked out a way, and it's not moved since. So that's the update. Get going. Well, here we are at Bourke. Not to be confused with Bourke, the Australian Explorer, B-U-R-K-E. This is the Welsh version, B-O-U-R-K-E, or the French version, I don't know. So this is the front of Bourke. 40 zone here today. Okay. Calmer right down. So I wonder where the back of Bourke is. Hey. He wasn't waving at me. So what do we got here? Got juice. I need juice. This is my stop before. This is where I stopped before Cobar, the last stop. Strange sets of speed bumps. Here we are. Alright. Spent some time back at the Bourke Caltex service station. I did pull up here for a drink, but I bought a big Mother energy drink, and I strapped it onto the back of the bike just so I could move it out of the way, and it fell off unbeknownst to me, and I backed over it, splitting it open. So when I literally moved the bike 20 meters, it was nowhere to be seen. Retraced my steps, and there it was, smashed up on the forecourt. Hey kids, yay! Some of the locals. Well, this is Bourke. I'm pleasantly surprised. Some nice facilities. Turning left here. This is about 167 to Cobar, and this has me arriving at 5:45. That's in the daylight savings kind of. It'll be bright as. There's the place. Yeah, it's got an oasis kind of feel to it. You'll see as we leave town, there's the Outback car and truck wash. As we leave town, it becomes less green. It's been a good ride today. The road conditions have steadily improved. You kind of notice which shires invest the money in their roads and which don't. I'm looking at you, Walgett. Get your act together. And there's a dead centre of town. That must be an old cemetery. It's just not a very big town. This is where the zombie apocalypse might originate. Yeah, that's a levee, it must flood. Oh well, so this is a country I was mentioning, a lot less green. A bit hungrier, but there's lots of feed. Surprising. So this is the genuine Outback. Alright. Well, we're about 5 or 6 k's out of Cobar. We're pulling in from the north, so come down a road called Kidman Way from Bourke to Cobar. It runs due north-south. I think in some aspects it would rival some of the straighter roads on the Nullarbor. It's dead straight with only a couple of turns in it. It's a lovely afternoon. It's 20 minutes to 6. Plenty of sunlight left. What you can see on both sides of the road has been fairly characteristic for the last 50 kilometres. So that kind of sparse shrubbery gave way to some more wooded land. You've got that kind of nice red ochre underlaying it all. I'm going a little slow because there was a speed sign there saying 80 k's an hour because of roadworks, but I think I think it's the Phantom Roadworks again. They might just pick up the speed again. So yeah, it's really nice to be arriving with this much daylight left. You get to see a bit of the place. If you're thinking of doing this stretch yourself, just be aware that there are a lot of feral goats and there has been some roadkill, and they're not shy of being either side of the road or up close to the road. Alright, I'm going to switch it off there and I'll debrief when we get to a campsite. Staying at the Cobar Caravan Park. I think it's 101 Barrier Highway, Cobar. I'll debrief there. Okay, here we are at Cobar Caravan Park. Set myself up over here at a little powered site. I need the power box so I can plug laptop in, do some editing. Very nice and tidy. Maybe a bit noisy tonight, it's over by the road. You can hear the trucks over there. Alright, I thought I'd do a really quick recap of where we are, so in relation to the full map of Australia. We are right here. So I made some progress by day 2. So today's trip was from Moree down to Narrabri, which caught us up to schedule. Should have arrived there last night. Then across to Walgett. This section of road was absolute shit. Then down to Bourke. Beautiful roads through here. And again, the Kidman Way was unexpectedly good. I wasn't sure what to make of that, given that it's got a different colour on the map. It's got a B road colour instead of an A road, so that was a concern. Really good trip today. Notwithstanding the short section of road, almost short 200 k's worth of fairly rough as guts, but it was really good that the day turned around, as you can see in the video. So tomorrow is a reasonably long stretch, so it's from Cobar here all the way down to Yunta, where I'm going to be staying. So staying in South Australia tomorrow, which gives us 1, 2, 3, 4 more days of travel after that. So we'll catch you tomorrow.